Good morning. This is Richard Evans from Condo Hotel Professionals, and this morning I would like to speak to you about the property operations and maintenance division in the Condo Hotel. Actually going to give away a few trade secrets today. When I am called on for a consult, one of the first areas that I delve into is the maintenance department, because unlike the traditional hotel, here in the maintenance department we can move or try to make profit. We have a number of sources of revenues that offset our expenses, and when we're dealing with a traditional hotel, typically this department will cost the hotel anywhere from 4.9 to 5.5% of total revenues. When we correctly apply revenues and carefully monitor margins, we can bring this number down to under 1%. So you can see that the benefit is significant. What troubles me or sometimes surprises me is that more emphasis isn't placed on the department. Usually the chief engineer and the owner coordinator are the two executives who are dealing with this department. The owner coordinator will call upon unit owners and bring to their attention things in their units that need attention, furniture that needs to be replaced, tile options, carpet options, TVs, so on and so on and so forth. We can always offer the installation of the majority of this at a much discounted rate, or a greatly discounted rate from what owners can receive on the outside from third parties. And so it's a perfect business, and what it is it's a business within a business, and needs to be carefully managed. Yes, this is where you can make the big difference in a condo hotel, and where you can really create more profit or more distributable income that will go to unit owners. So I've pulled up this profit and loss statement on the POM department, the maintenance department, and already you traditional hoteliers can see some vast differences to what you're looking at. The yellow highlighted lines indicate revenue sources. Now, the first section and the third section actually are combined. I probably should have combined them, because these have to do with job orders that are quoted to unit owners. And you can see in the first section in wages that income against labor cost for this particular hotel was $265,000. Now, I've broken this up into parts so it's more easy, or it's more easily seen how this all works. So let me go through it with you quickly, okay? And I'm going to keep this this segment to 7 to 8 minutes at most. Wages for the chief engineer, they are split with the association of the condominium. I've used a 50-50 split in this case because that's what the condo docs call for. It is always better when the condominium documents call for something specific. So this is half of the chief engineer's wages and benefits, and of course he would then be required to oversee the condo and the hotel program. The third line is all wages that have to do with anyone that is on call. Hotels always need someone on call because problems arise in rooms. They get calls at the front desk, and through the property management system, those calls would be picked up and taken care of. The second line is the line that I'm focusing on here today, and that is labor devoted to specific job orders that are quoted. And so you can see that wages, income brought in of $265 and actual wages spent of $212 are the two significant lines here. We typically, in the condo hotel, use a 25% average markup, on all maintenance items, and that usually brings a good rate for the unit owner and also a nice profit for the condo hotel. Let's just jump down to the third section, and these are materials that are used in these job orders. And here we've broken down the specific income coming in for those materials of $109,000, and then you can see line by line those materials used in the jobs. And you can see that here in the third section we have a $21,000 income, and you can see in the first section here it hasn't quite offset the full labor payroll, but it's brought it down significantly, so we still have an expense of $90,000 here. Now the second section is a section that evaluates what unit owners pay for light bulbs, batteries, small scuff marks, and so forth. Since the beginning of time in condo hotels, typically the hotel program would charge owners for light bulbs and batteries as they occurred, and it was tedious, and I think it rubbed owners the wrong way. And what I suggest is that whether it's $25 or $45, that a fee be arrived at on a monthly basis taken from the owners that will take care of these small items, and you don't have to keep charging one by one. So here you can see that in this particular hotel, I think it's 165 rooms, we charged $40 per month, and within, I think this is a 5-month statement, $88,800 was charged. The actual expense was $46,000, and we had painting expense, and you can see that there was a profit earned of $41,000. Moving down. Okay, and here are the normal expenses that a traditional hotel would absorb on their financial statement. But what they do is they exclude these items below. And I put this in here just to make a point. Anything that relates to common area or the building would not be included in the regular POM expenses. These would be picked up in what is called the association or the condominium financial statement, which is a separate statement. And then we come to the bottom, and you can see that the total cost here, $64,404, it is still a cost, is 1%, and if you compare that to what is normally picked up as 4.9%, would usually be about $328,000, and you can see that the variance is large. Okay, so that's this section. Now, what I'd like to now very quickly speak about is are abuses that sometimes are seen in the condo hotel, and honestly, I'm not going to get into these. I get into these very heavily in the book, and they're very important. There are a great number of complexities in the maintenance department, from payroll to private work for unit owners, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. And I think it's worth reading because the department has the ability to provide runaway expenses, and so you should be aware of these. Today I'll just very quickly speak about private work for unit owners. There's a problem in condo hotels. Normally in a condo hotel, 85% of the people or the units are in the hotel program, and of course at least 15% that are not. And those 15% or more will become comfortable approaching somebody who works for the hotel program or for the condo association to try to solicit private work for cash. This is more of a problem than you would know, and I think very precise rules need to be placed into the employee handbook and monitored by the HR director, because it is sometimes difficult for employees to say no. I typically have never allowed any staff to be on the property after scheduled hours. I believe that, in my mind, there's a problem, could be a problem with workman's compensation issues, with If something happened, the owner's specific liability insurance, quality of work. If the quality is not good, will that owner feel that they ultimately could look back to the hotel program because something was not done correctly? So I think there are a lot of different ramifications. The other thing is that sometimes employees that are not being monitored during the day as to their schedule can disappear. And while they're being paid by the hotel program or while they're being paid by the condominium, will perform work for a private owner. And of course, that is very, very bad. So the remedy to that, and I'm going to close now, is that the chief engineer be precise, be organized, and have a good property management system, that job standards be established, and that each employee, each day, be required to submit a list of work that was performed, and that should be weighed against standards, and make sure that that list makes sense, okay? If suddenly you start seeing gaps in time, then there's maybe something that you want to look into further. So I'll leave it at that. I hope that today was good in terms of giving you something to think about. Maintenance department, very important in tweaking your condo hotel program and earning profits. Have a great day. See you soon.